Amanda and this is The Sound of Joker. Today I'm going to be talking about some things that Julie Andrews made that I actually haven't seen. And as it turns out, most of the time it's on purpose. So obviously when you're dealing with Julie Andrews you've got over 70 years worth of stuff to wade through. And while I do think I know a lot, I did a answering Google's Julie Andrews questions videos the other week, I don't know all of it. There is actually plenty I don't know. If you've seen the Parallel Julieverse Tumblr, I will leave a link to it in the down below if you haven't. There are so many posts on there about things that I had absolutely no idea about. So many things. Point being that there is so much that Julie has done that I haven't seen or didn't even know about. But when it comes to the, for lack of a better word, mainstream things she's done, I've seen a lot of it, but not all of it. So the qualifications for things on this list are that it has to be tangible or recorded. It has to be something that I could go right now and find and watch if I wanted to. Because as I said before, most of these I haven't seen because I actually don't want to. But the first one is The Gentle Flame. Okay, I liked this one. I would not be able to go and find. Because if I could, I would have seen it. I made a whole Julie Andrews history video on The Gentle Flame a couple of years back, but basically it is a musical adaptation of The Little Match Girl that she was in 1959. But because it was broadcast live, it's actually unknown as to whether the show in its entirety was actually ever committed to film. From what I've read, again on the Parallel Julieverse, some of the scenes would have had to have been recorded in advance, but the full show in its entirety might not actually exist, which is the reason I haven't seen it. Does that one kind of break the rules for the qualifications I set up 2 minutes ago? Yes, so it's a little bit of a different case, but I had to include it because this is the one on this list that I really would like to see. So on to the ones I could have actually found by the end of today if I wanted to, but haven't. Because most of the other ones have the exact same reason. I haven't seen it because I simply don't want to. Not that long ago I would have seen all of these because I would have said to myself, Julie's in that, I have to go see it. But I'm not really forcing myself to do that sort of thing anymore. If I don't think I'll like the movie or the show, or that Julie's little cameo style role, because most of the ones on this list are very, very small roles, if I don't think that will be worth it, then I won't bother. So the next one is Aquaman. This was the one that's kind of started off this chain reaction. I just don't like superhero movies. And I probably could look up that one scene she's in if I wanted to. So the next one is the big one. This one came up so many times in my Google video the other week, and that is Bridgerton. Once again, really no interest. I read the first book in the series and I didn't really like it, like at all. I've heard that the books get better, and I've even heard a few people here and there say they didn't really like the first season, but they liked the second season more. But I still really don't care all that much. Simon was definitely my favourite part of the first book, and as far as I know, he's not in season 2. And Daphne Bridgerton is horrible. She's just a horrible person. If you've read the book, you probably know what I'm talking about. And even though I haven't seen it, I'm shocked that they didn't take that scene out. So the next couple I'm just going to talk about in one hit, because although they are separate things, they're very kind of similar in a way. And that is Julie, which is her very, very short-lived TV show from the early 1990s, and the Julie Andrews Hour. Julie Andrews Hour is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's just an hour of Julie singing and performing with a whole bunch of her friends and guest stars and things like that. I've seen the one where she brings Maria Von Trapp on there, and I've seen the Christmas special, but other than that, nope. As for the TV series from the 1990s, it was so short-lived. It was like less than 10 episodes. And from what I read on IMDb, it seems that it was just Julie as the star of a television show and trying to balance work and home and all that sort of stuff. So pretty generic sort of setup. Kind of reminds me of That's Life. She also appears in a couple of the Pink Panther movies because Blake. but she's not credited in either of them. And I don't know if she actually appears on screen at any point. I'm pretty sure with at least one of them, she sings the main song from the movie, but that might be all. The last two movies I'm going to be talking about are ones that aren't out yet. The first one being Minions 2, The Rise of Gru. Don't know whether I'll see this one. Back in 2017, I went and saw Despicable Me 3 simply because she was in it, but I didn't realise that I had seen the entirety of her one scene just by watching the interviews. And the other one is The King's Daughter. This one is kind of like Bridgerton in that she's the narrator and that's it. And I don't know. I really don't know. In terms of content, it sounds like something I would enjoy or be more likely to see if it was completely independent of Julie than Minions. But I don't know. And the last things I'm going to throw out there are her books. Yes. If you didn't know, Julie Andrews has been writing books since the 1970s. And I have not read most of them. I've read her 2 memoirs and her 2 poetry collections, where you can count on one hand the number of poems that are actually written by her. I haven't read any of her picture books. I haven't read her first novel, Mandy. I haven't read the last of the Really Great Wang Doodles. Yes, that is the title of a book. Yes, that book was written by Julie Andrews. No, you're not fooling anybody by using Blake's name on the cover, Julie. And so there you go. There are some things that Julie has made over the years that I have not seen, and for the most part, that's intentional. Or at the very least, something I have not actively tried to rectify. Because sometimes there are things that I just don't care about. And that one scene she's in Aquaman would not make it worth it for me. At the time it came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to see Aquaman because Julie's in it. And then that kind of never happened, and I was okay with that. That was also around the same time I told myself I would not go and see Mary Poppins Returns if she wasn't in it. Well, that did end up happening, and I kind of like it more than the first one. But it's got my other favourite person in the world in it, so it evened out. But that's all I've got for today, guys. Let me know, have you seen anything on this list and do you think I should give it a try? Stay safe, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my video next time. So long, farewell!